Okay, so you bought the game Planet Zoo, you've loaded it up, started a zoo, and now you're feeling super overwhelmed and like quitting. We've all been there. Here are my top 10 tips for starting a new and successful franchise zoo in 2023 in Planet Zoo. Tip 1. Keep it simple. When starting a franchise zoo, the main thing you need to focus on is making money and gaining conservation credits. This means not building super detailed builds, as this wastes your money, and not buying the most expensive animals first. Keep it simple. Make enclosures that look like squares. Place down those prefabs. You can demolish everything later and rebuild the zoo to look pretty once you have the money. Tip 2. Make sure you put in some form of shop. The shops bring in lots of money in this game, so look under the menu under the guest needs and look at what they want. It will most likely either be drinks or food. And if you have put drinks and food shops in, don't forget to put in toilets. Toilets are a great way to make some easy money, as you can charge guests to use them. Tip number 3. Choose the right sort of animals. Low stress and maintenance. When I first started my franchise series, I put in an easy breeding but a high stress animal, which was a massive mistake for me. Put in confident animals and easy breeding animals. You can find out this information in the Zoopedia, but my recommendations: common ostrich, common warthog, and capybaras if you have the wetland pack. Tip number 4. Exhibit animals for the cash. Certain exhibit animals breed very easily and can make you a lot of cash for selling them. This is my quick and easy money. My recommendations are the Goliath beetles, Titan beetles, and butterflies from the new Grassland pack. They all breed very easily and can be sold as soon as they are born. Tip number 5. Inbreeding. Inbreeding can happen in the game if you don't keep on top of your animals, and I am so bad at this. Inbreeding can cause issues with the stats, and your stats will go down for your animals. And this means when it comes time to selling them, you're not going to be able to get as much money or conservation credits for them. So rotate your animals or buy new ones to prevent this inbreeding. Tip number 6. Only hire the staff you need at first and work zones. So when you first start your zoo with only a few habitats and exhibits, you won't need hundreds of zookeepers, vets and caretakers. Instead, only start out with a couple. Train them and then hire more as you expand your zoo. The other half of this tip is work zones. Try and get in the habit of setting up work zones and use them to your full potential. As you expand, create more staff areas and more work zones. So your zoo staff aren't running from one side of your zoo to the other just to take care of them. And I am fully aware when I say this tip, I am also horrendous at doing it. So in 2023, I'm going to try and get better at doing work zones. Okay, tip number 7. Research. Research in franchise mode is great. It's because once you do it, you only have to do it once. So if you've done it in one zoo, it will transfer over to the other zoo once you open them as another franchise. Make sure you have both vets and mechanics researching in your first zoo. Make sure your vets are focusing on those first animals to research to unlock those enrichment items, education bonuses, and mating bonuses. For mechanics, I would focus on gameplay research first, then building items. My first mechanic research I always try to complete is barriers, so that I can unlock that one-sided glass, which will then, hopefully, lower the stress of your animals. Tip number 8. Staff roles. One thing I didn't know I could do when I first started this game was choose what I wanted my staff to focus on. And this tip has been such a game changer for me. So when you click on a staff member and then under the section that says employment, you can select them to only do research or do something specific. So if you're finding you are really struggling with research and your vets or your mechanics are just not doing the research, hire an extra vet or mechanic and only dedicate that person to do the research. This will then free up your other members of your team to take care of your zoo while you've still got that research going on in the background from that one specific person. This tip honestly changed the way I play the game, because I just was blasting through research way quicker, and it just helps so much. Okay, tip number 9. Expand only when you have the resources to do so. One thing a lot of people try and do is expand really early, and expanding too soon can have a major financial impact on your zoo. So at first, keep it small and simple. Once you're making a steady profit, start expanding one animal at a time. I wouldn't necessarily go for the big animals in your first expansion either, as that will not only cost more to purchase, but more to maintain in terms of food enrichment. So start off with those simple animals, such as the deers, those sorts of things, and then expand into your bigger, more wanted animals in the future. Tip number 10. Get those donation bins. Place them everywhere. If you have an education board, place a donation bin. If you're finding that people aren't donating, also pop down an ATM. People will donate to your zoo, so just make sure you have them for that little bit of extra income. Okay, so I hope these top 10 tips will help you start a successful franchise in 2023. Let me know in the comments if you have any other tips to help others just starting out. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification button so you're notified every time a video comes out. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.